Are open relationships ethical? I'm going to share with you my intimacy model of relationships. It's really going to clarify how you build relationships with people and how you interact and interface with people you're in relationships with now. In the previous video, we talked about the juxtaposition of relationships anarchy and ethical non-monogamy. And we considered that ethical non-monogamy is not a good name for it. Should be consensual non-monogamy. And the primary distinction being ethical non-monogamy is about your partner or the individuals in the relationship allowing their partner relationships with other people. And that's the primary distinction, the allowing of it, the permissiveness of it. And the relationship anarchy model of relationship is a lifestyle, a philosophy, a recognition that it's more like relationship autarky, a relationship based on the individuals primarily becoming or being autonomous, self-governing individuals. And so the difference between those two is that the ethical non-monogamy aspect or the consensual non-monogamy says that I'm permitting you to see other people. It's a permissive style of relationship, of openness of relationship, and the relationship anarchy is an open relationship where you can build the relationship based on how you interact and interface with people. I call it relationship autarky, which is closer to how I refer to my relationship. Because you interact, you must get the premise, and it's a very fundamental one, that a relationship is how you interact and interface with people. With that in mind, since everyone will be different, and they can be even different to themselves based on the time of the month, time of the year, time of their life, time of their circumstances. There are no people that are going to be the same. Hence, every dynamic with every individual will be different. And so it only makes sense that you interact with them based on who they are as a person, who you are as a person, and you synergize in the ways that you do. And you're open about pursuing other things with other people in the ways that you don't synergize. Because no one, and mark my words, no one can be everything for anyone, as much as people romanticize it to be. So how do I refer to the relationship style that I do? I don't call it relationship autarky or relationship anarchy or ethical non-monogamy, although everything is ethical. And ethics is based on what people presume to be the good thing. Ethic is what people consider is a good thing. And non-ethics or non-ethical would be what we consider to be the bad thing. So when you practice good ethics in your relationship, it's an ethical relationship. Ethical, open relationship. But we're not going to call it that. How I refer to it is I interact with people based on the open relationship style that I have, fundamentally based on three things, which are unconditional love, my genuine wanting for my beloved's happiness intrinsic to my own, whether or not I'm involved, and especially whether or not it's in the same bed. Genuine wanting for their happiness, even if it's with a different person. How can I help? Number two is non-judgmental acceptance, accepting every individual for who they are, their desires, their mannerisms, their preferences, and their non-preferences and non-desires. And open communication, each individual ability, facilitating each other's being able to communicate openly, because there's never a reason to hide anything. There's never a reason to have any secrets unless you really want to. And the reason for that is because you're not punished emotionally or physically or psychologically when you communicate your absolute truth. Being who you are as a person, facilitating every person as they are. So the distinction between my style of open style of relationship based on the three fundamentals of SOR and what people consider as ethical non-monogamy, despite everything I do as being ethical, is that the people that practice ethical non-monogamy, they consider the permissiveness. I allow the person to have other relationships, and they consider it's a permissive style of relationship rather than a free one, rather than considering that people are free. People are free individuals, and people are better off when they are self-governed and they take authority over their own responsibilities. And they take responsibilities over their own authorities. And they consider that if you don't communicate about your other lovers or your other relationships with me, well, that's cheating. So the idea, cheating, comes up when people think about open relationships. Well, you're just fucking around. It's not a genuine type of relationship. Well, they haven't considered a lot of things. Number one is, what is a commitment? A commitment is an agreement you do based on what you agree upon. A commitment that you make based on what you agree upon with another person is a commitment. And you can agree upon about anything. You could agree upon an open relationship style of format of relating with somebody. That is a commitment. You can make a commitment to yourself, commitment to the relationship, that every individual will be free and will never pursue the relationship because they have to, because they're obligated to. They are free individuals, and they must never be in the relationship if they ever feel they have to be in the relationship. They must only be in the relationship because they want to be. They must only be with me because they want to be with me. They enjoy being with me. They desire being with me. They desire being in bed with me. So the idea, cheating, let's go back. You cheat when you go against what you've promised, what you've committed to do. When you say you're going to do something, and then you betray their trust, that is cheating. So, is open relationship cheating when you see other people? The obvious answer, you know this already, is it's not cheating at all, because it's what you've committed. It's what you've agreed upon. Now, the idea that you have to tell somebody everything about someone, otherwise you're hiding it from them. Well, let me tell you, and you know this already, that there's a certain level of trust that you develop with people. Therefore, based on that level of trust and based on that level of intimacy, you share information with them. So here goes my intimacy model of relationships. Have you heard of it? The intimacy model of relationship goes like this. Intimacy, fundamentally, is how well you know the person. Do you understand? How well you know the person is what intimacy is. Intimacy isn't sensuality. Intimacy isn't being sensual or being sexual, being touchy-feely, and all of those things, romantic things. Intimacy is how well you know the person. The more you know the person, the more you become intimate with them. And you grow in they grow in their significance based on how intimate you become. Or they grow less in your significance based on how intimate you become. You understand? The more you get to know somebody, the more or less significant they become to you based on how you interact and interface. And the more intimate you become, the more things you generally share with each other. And the more things you share about each other, the more intimate you become, the more significant they become to you. And some people become so significant to you, you know a lot about each other. And this naturally communicates to the other person. So if you want to communicate, you communicate based on what merits that communication. What I feel like communicating with another person. I don't need to tell anything about anyone to anyone whom I'm involved. I only communicate with them what merits that communication. I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.